Today on Hi Now, a fun way to upcycle and start a new craft project at home. Try out these junk journaling tips. Plus,
The Honolulu Museum of Art is bringing art education back into Keiki's classrooms and into your home.
then everything you need for a tasty meal for under 15 bucks. We've got the recipe. This and more right now on Hi Now.
Aloha and welcome to Hi Now Weekender. I'm Kanoe Gibson.
And I'm Kainoa Carlson, and over the course of the last year, a lot of us have spent a lot of time being very creative at home.
We have. A lot of us have had a lot of time at home
That's
to be
right.
creative. I haven't actually had a lot of time, but I have been getting a little more creative. So I am doing this new thing called junk journaling.
Junk journaling. Okay, for people who aren't familiar, such as myself.
Yes.
What is junk journaling?
Okay, so I've always been a journaler, but junk journaling is basically taking the things that people would normally throw away and making them into a journal. And so I put things like, today we're making something out of a piece of junk mail. This is like a typical piece of junk mail that you would typically just toss it, right? So all I did is I chucked the insides, and then I made this really cute creation. Look at this, right? Okay, no, wait, no.
You're so crafty,
This
though.
gets really
Okay,
exciting.
okay.
So this is probably the most expensive part of this whole thing is a little wax seal. It costs
Okay.
a couple of cents, but we Velcro. We open it up,
Wow.
and you've got all kinds of really great things that you can do. And so a lot of this stuff are just like little printables that you can journal on. And then you like put this little Brad up. And this was taken from one of my kids' projects at school,
Okay.
the little Brad. So I just pull it down. And so it's really just, taking the, isn't that cute?
See the doors? Oh my God. And the door knobs.
Right?
You're like, this is so
And
How
this
long
is-
did this take? How long did this take?
I just did this yesterday. Yeah, I panicked because Rachel's like, I need you to make something. I got you, I'll make something. This is a playing card. So really, it's a fun way to just keep some memories inside your journal and not feel bad about it, not waste paper.
Definitely. Now, this is awesome. Wait, we need to get shots of it. Walk us through what we have in the front over
Oh
here.
yeah, so this was the first junk journal that I ever made. So this is made out of one of those yellow envelopes, and I just basically glued some fabric on it. And then it's just really fun stuff that you put inside. Pictures, this is an old bag, and it makes a pocket like this. This is an envelope. This is a piece of a magazine that I just took out and started journaling on. So hello, drywall tape. Anything can be made into a journal. This was from
I see
a
lots
segment.
of stuff with the keiki.
Yeah, and this was actually tissue paper from a segment we did at Aloha Confectionery. So I keep everything, and I put it in my junk journal, and I just think, you know what, if I lose my mind one day, my kids can show this to me again and say, Mommy, look, here's something that you used to do.
I was just gonna say too, and how nostalgic is it when you're putting these together? Because it's a little bit of this, it's what you did yesterday, years ago.
Yeah.
In fact, very special story behind that Mary Poppins book,
Yes,
right?
so my 86-year-old auntie allowed me to come over to her house and rummage through her books. And so I was able to pick up all of these really old books from the 60s. Mary Poppins happens to be from 1964. And so this little thing that I made here was actually made out of that storybook. This was the first page. And I don't waste any scraps. Even the inside of this door, I took some scraps and I used that one page. So it's just really fun. See, look, right here too is a pocket.
Hey.
Right? Yeah, and all of these things, old card catalog. I know, you think I'm nuts, but there are people out there who like it.
No, I like it, and you're just so crafty, so creative, and especially in 2020, right? Everyone's discovering new hobbies and getting better at old ones.
Yeah, so if you want more tips on these junk journals, we'll have it all up on HiNowDaily.com.
That's right. Aloha gang, the Honolulu Museum of Art is bringing art education back into Keiki's classrooms and into your home.
Education here at the museum has been a pillar since 90 years ago. And just like other museums across the country, we've been moving our physical experiences onto our website and social media doing digital resources. But one problem that it did not solve was communities and people that don't have access to the internet, don't have computers, iPads, Wi-Fi. Our solution there was to develop these kits that were based on the digital resources that we've provided, based on the programs that we've been doing for many, many years, and then sending it out to schools and organizations so they can actually have that experience making art with their hands. So this is our art kits. So with any of the works of art that we have in our gallery, it was made by somebody. When we think about like this painting or this sculpture, it's actually really simple. It's just materials and one's hands and one's mind. And that's the same thing that's in this box here. First off, we start off with simple instructions on what to do with these supplies. Depending on the actual kit and project, we have different types of materials. So in this one here, we have clay, pens, pencils, sticks, and glue. And then, the resources that we provide in here will enable the student, the child, the family to actually make something. You work with your family, you work with your hands, you make decisions on what colors to use, what shapes to make. All of those things speak to the education of what we do here in the museum, and then how we are cultivating innovation and creativity for all the people of Hawaii.
The kids helped us connect by bringing some kind of art into their hand, and bringing the art into their hand and them touching and feeling and be able to see their friends on top of the video as well, because they're all at home for so long, was touching, because they're so excited seeing each other as well as doing something creative that wasn't just reading a book or normally do with the teachers. It helped us bring the community together by bringing the Honolulu Museum of Art to our school to share the word with them. Kindergarteners are forever telling me, "Oh, thank you so much for the Play-Doh. It was so much fun." Their minds just was so creative where no one did the same thing.
We distributed 1,266 kits, distributed them to our partner schools, Holola Elementary, Princess Ka'iolani Elementary, Kalihiuka Elementary, and Lanakila Elementary. We want people to thrive. We want people to be inspired, have that creative itch, and be innovative. And that's what art is all about. Visit our website, that's honolulumuseum.org. And we have an education link there that you can go ahead and explore all of our resources and find more information on our kits.
Brought to you by Honolulu Museum of Art.
If you're having trouble figuring out what to make for dinner, look no further. Hawaii State FCU is back again with another inexpensive and tasty recipe from their popular Bites on a Budget video series. Each month, the credit union offers up ideas for easy-to-make dinners and desserts that will wow your family and friends without even breaking your wallet. Now, today's recipe features a delicious and budget-friendly chicken parmesan with roasted potatoes and green beans. Yum! With just a few simple ingredients, you can create a quick and hearty meal. And best of all, everything can be baked in the same pan, saving you time and dishes. Check it out. Like what you saw? Be sure to follow Hawaii State FCU on Instagram at Hawaii State FCU to view more Bites on a Budget videos and access other fun videos, financial tips, and more. You can also view more of these recipes on their Wallet Wisdom page by visiting hawaiistatefcu.com/bites on a budget.
Brought to you by Hawaii State FCU. Coming up, looking for ways to advance your weight loss goals, how this plant can help control your appetite.
Plus, giving new parents the ultimate gift. We hear from a surrogate, helping to make dreams come true. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to High Now Weekender. Now, if you are a fan of the show, then you already know that we love to eat.
That's right, we're always grinding on the show, but today we got something a little bit different. Today we're sampling this Huria plant from Sustainable Bioresources. It's grown on Hawaii Island, and very interestingly enough, this thing is grown to taste not good, so that it kind of suppresses your hunger.
To make you not eat.
To make you not eat.
Yeah, so you can actually grow your own or get your own plant. But before that, we are gonna try to taste this whole thing. We spoke to the owner, so take a look to see what he said.
Hawaiian Huria is our plants that we have been developing over some 15 years of research and development. They're originally from Africa, were discovered thousands of years ago by the indigenous peoples of that area as a way to suppress their appetite when they're hunting or in times of famine. We started with a project to develop strains of the plant that could be sustainably grown in cultivation, that would be ethically produced, organic, and the real thing. We have plants and seeds available so people can grow their own at home. Soon, hopefully, we'll be able to start producing cuttings for use as a produce product.
And speaking of those cuttings, we got some right here. We are your brave taste testers
I've been looking at it all morning.
This is the first time that anybody's tasting this on TV in Hawaii.
Hey,
so
there
we
we
are
go.
it. Okay, so here's this lovely plant. You definitely do not want to eat the thorns.
Right.
But you also don't want to peel this cutting here. So
And you got to keep it in a sunny spot. You don't refrigerate it.
Yeah.
Once you take off the thorns, you rinse it, peel it. And
Don't peel it.
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't peel it.
You just take the thorns off.
And then we're at this stage now.
And then we're at this stage. So are you ready to try this? Now, people ask, like, can I put it in my smoothies? Because a lot of people will do stuff like that. You're actually not supposed to do that. The whole point is you're supposed to get this taste. Let's see what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Ho, ho, ho.
It's kind of like a pepper taste with like a bitterness. It's like bitter melon.
Yeah.
Right? Do you like bitter melon?
I'm not hungry.
You're not hungry anymore. Okay, interesting.
Oh.
Listen, people will do anything to lose weight nowadays.
That is true.
This is actually not a bad thing to do,
Yeah,
right?
and
it's natural.
That's right. It's at Hawaii Island, and it's because we're doing it with the seal. It's got the seal of quality on there from the Department of Agriculture.
Yeah.
So you know it's here, grown in Hawaii. It's local. And this thing is, yes, pretty bitter.
But it's awesome. I mean, I'm gonna take this plant home, mind you, okay?
yeah.
We'll just follow up and see if I lose some weight. Hey, but another really cool thing, really, to keep things serious, they are also growing moringa, which is a plant that also grows in Africa, and it's actually helping to with malnutrition, so the opposite. So this helps you lose weight, the other one helps you with malnutrition. So it's kind of like giving back to Africa, because I believe he is sending some of the products back to the homeland.
Very, very cool. Let's continue to support where we can, and this thing will make you not hungry. I guess it's receptors on your tongue.
Yes.
Kind of trigger.
Let's see how it is for the rest of the day. It's actually really easy to grow, because if you grow, what are those one kind of plants that are easy to grow?
What are those plants that are easy to grow?
Kind of like the cactus. The ones that don't require a lot of water. Well, that's like this. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Succulents. There it is.
Succulents.
Okay, anyway, easy to grow. We're gonna have all of the information up on how you can grow these plants, and also how you can get the seal of quality on your products on our website.
I'm sweating right now.
HighNowDaily.com.
I'm sweating right now.
Brought to you by the Hawaii State Department of Agriculture.
Thank you. One-of-a-kind flavors and family. That's what makes Waiola's Shaved Ice so special. For 34 years, they've been serving up this tasty treat here at their Waiola location.
Everybody knows the texture, the softness of the ice. It's almost like powdery. It's the closest thing to snow you can ever have, yeah. And also the homemade syrup. We make all our syrups.
Shave ice with aloha. A few of the core values of what has made Waiola Store a Hawaii staple all these years.
Waiola Store, this store was actually built in 1940. That's before World War II. The name came from the street. It was named after the street, Waiola Street. Azuki Bowl!
Jerry Lee is a third-generation owner of the family business.
My parents originally from Taiwan. In 1980, my granduncle bought the store, and then later he sold it to my dad. When my dad passed away, he passed it on to me. I pretty much grew up in the store, working. It's in my DNA. I'm always here. I see my parents working so hard, and they came here with no skills. So that's how they took over the business. Kind of give us a way to make a living, start over in a new country. The most rewarding is seeing the people. Their parents used to bring them here when they were kids, and now they bring their own kids. It's very rewarding seeing the pattern and the families growing up.
So when the pandemic hit, Lee decided to give back to the community by selling their iconic shave ice for just $1 from late May until the end of July. In total, Lee estimates he gave away roughly $35,000 in shave ice.
It's really strange. I have never experienced anything like it. I have to do what I can to help everybody out.
Lee's passion for what he does has allowed him to connect with customers for generations. Now, the fourth generation is learning the business as Jerry's son Walter looks over their Kapahulu location.
The biggest thing I've learned is gratitude. Just seeing my dad come, here from a different country, started out with nothing and building himself to this. And not only that, he's given me the opportunity to get a great education, try all the things I want to do. Makes me want to succeed because I want my future kids to have a life that my dad gave me.
Waiola means water of life, and for the Lee family, their Ono shave ice has given them a life they could have never imagined.
The business is so important. It raises my family. It has the ground roots of my family. And I show them through my work. It takes time and commitment. Hopefully it will stay in business for as long as I'm here. That's the wish that I want.
Brought to you by Cutter Chevrolet.
Surrogacy can be one of the greatest gifts for couples who are looking to start their own family. We spoke to Ashley Bolger about her experience of giving new parents the ultimate gift.
I chose to become a surrogate because early in my 20s, probably my early 20s, mid 20s, I had thought about being a surrogate for a family member, and I just wasn't in, I think, the most mature point of my life to be doing that for somebody else. I just didn't understand the whole process. I kind of just jumped the gun and said, hey, yeah, I can help you. I can do this. I've already had one child, and unfortunately it just didn't work out, and they ended up going a different route. We moved to Hawaii, and I was staying at home now with my daughter, and an ad had popped up on my Facebook about it, and I was like, hey, I'm home now. I am done, for sure done, having my own family. Maybe this would be something that would be great for me to do for somebody else to help them have a family. And that's kind of where I started. The experience with Hawaii surrogacy has been fantastic, actually. I am 110% pleased with everything that's gone on. They have all been fantastic. They have been nothing but supportive. They have done literally everything from financials to making sure I got to and from Utah for the transfer okay, to scheduling appointments for me. I mean, they have literally done everything. It's just been great. It's allowed me to, kind of keep my focus on myself and surrogacy itself instead of having to worry about all this other background stuff going on that I'm very inexperienced with, of course. So the whole process went really fast for me. I just applied online. It was a quick application that it was a very basic questionnaire about why I want to be a surrogate, how I feel about certain things, about being pregnant, how many times I'd like to try, for the transfer and things if it didn't work out the first time. So I filled out the application in October of 2019. I had then an interview with Brianna, the coordinator, because she wants to meet you and see how you are as a person and your life and things, so then she can match you with a couple. Shortly after that, I think within 2 weeks or so, I was matched with my surrogate couple, my intended parents that are from Australia. We meshed really well. From applying to having my surrogate baby was a year. It's been one of the most rewarding things I have ever done in my life. And to form the kind of relationship and the bond that I have with the parents too, it's just been rewarding. The whole entire thing has just been fantastic. People have to start from a very open emotional standpoint. You have to be completely open to what's happening. Understand that, this is the starting point of giving someone else a child. So I think making sure that somebody is done with their own family is definitely the starting point.
Brought to you by Hawaii Surrogacy Center.
Coming up on Hi Now, her donuts caught my eye on Instagram, and if they didn't catch yours, well, you're following the wrong people.
See all the love that goes into the making of these square-shaped donuts when Hi Now returns.
If her donuts didn't catch your eye on Instagram, well, you're following the wrong people. We've got Little Vessels Donut Co. here in our Hi Now kitchen. Sachi, what is the story behind your donuts?
I'm a lifelong vegetarian, and donuts was one of those things that I really loved. So in the vegan donuts, I use coconut milk and coconut oil, and then instead of eggs, I use aquafaba and flaxseed. Today we have rose cardamom along with some dried rose petals, maple, it's made with real maple syrup, coconut bacon, so it's a vegan bacon that I put on top. And then I've got matcha with a mint drizzle and mint leaves, and then a classic vanilla glaze.
Ooh, I mean, this is like all kids' dream right here, to be able to do this. Ooh,
beautiful.
Beautiful, okay.
Let's try the maple.
So how did you come up with these flavors? I mean, you gotta be creative, I guess, when you're vegan or vegetarian, right?
Yeah, for sure. I try to pull from childhood favorite flavors, as well as the first time I've had a flavor combination in my life. That's a little vessel, it takes you back.
Awesome, I love it.
I have about 6 signature flavors, but I do try new flavors, do new themes, stuff like that.
How do people order?
Now I have an online platform. The link is in the bio. Pickup is on Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 2 in Kaimuki.
And what is the story behind the square donut? I mean, donuts are normally circles.
I found myself not finding any round cookie cutter. And I found this really incredible kit of square ones, and then I fell in love with them.
It was meant to be.
It was exactly.
Oh, whoa. First of all, if you didn't tell me that this is a vegan donut, I absolutely would not know. I would eat this over any other donut. Oh my goodness, they're so soft. Strawberry. That does bring back a little childhood memory. It reminds me of some kind of sticker I used to scratch.
And I love hearing these stories about whether it's a sticker you scratched or a cookie you ate or whatever it was, it's so much fun, and it's a way of everyone sort of relating to flavors and food the same way.
Incredible.
Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you.
What is your hope for the future?
The weekends are so special. It brings me so much joy,
Worth it.
and it makes me feel so connected to other people. A brick and mortar and doing this every day would be awesome.
Oh my goodness, well, I sure hope so. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing all of this amazing goodness. Make sure you follow her, Little Vessels Donut Co. on Instagram, and follow her journey as well. But make sure you try the donuts. We'll have more info up on HiNowDaily.com.
Brought to you by Cutter Ford.
Oh man, those donuts bring back memories, and I've already got my order in. Right after this show, I'm going to pick up my Saturday order.
Well, there you go. And you said even though they're vegan, you can't even tell.
You cannot tell. They're actually better than most donuts I've ever eaten. So you have to order on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
She posted on her Instagram, and then you pick up on Saturdays and Sundays. They're so delicious.
Little Vessels.
You
I will
have
give
to
them
get
a follow.
some. Yeah, and her flavors always change, so it's almost like this little surprise box. Like, what is she gonna post on Wednesday? I need to know. And then, yeah, finally I ordered some, so I am so excited to go pick them up. She's the sweetest too, and oh my gosh, those little donut holes that she had, the cinnamon sugar,
look good.
those reminded me of this little pizza shop we used to go to, and they would fry the dough and they would throw them at the kids. Anyways, when I was little in Mililani, if anybody remembers that. So
Okay,
make sure
love
you
it.
follow her, Little Vessels Donut Co. on Instagram. When it comes to gardening, do you have a green thumb or a black thumb like me? Well, I am here at City Mill Eva Beach with Iris. Hi! We are learning about container gardening today.
A lot of people don't have room.
Yeah.
You know, they have very small yards, they rent, they can't dig into the ground. They have only balconies. You need to put something in a container. A lot of people use containers also to bring into the house. Now you can grow anything in a container. So we have all different sizes. These are nursery containers. A lot of our plants will come like this. People will buy decorative pots for this to go into. For the really big sizes, I like the plastic containers because they make it look like it's heavy, but it's not. It's really light. We have bowls like this.
So this is interesting. What is this?
This is a fabric pot. They're very lightweight. They come with handles, so you can pick them up all over the place and move them. They are BPA and lead-free. They let a lot of moisture out. You will never overwater this plant.
So you actually keep the plant in here?
The plants don't get root bound in here. You can start with a full plant like this, or you can plant seeds. I would suggest use a jiffy pot like this. You can plant many different ones in here, and you just plant the whole thing in it. It won't ruin the root system. You want to actually wet the soil a little bit before you put it in. Dig a hole, cover up all the way to the top. You want to make sure that the new soil is actually covering the old soil. Water it a little bit.
Well, that's easy enough. I think we can all do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So all of these things can be found at all the City Mill locations?
Absolutely, and at citymill.com.
Wonderful, Iris. Well, thank you so much. I feel like I learned a lot in this short time. You guys can learn too. Check out any of the City Mill locations. We'll have more up on HiNowDaily.com.
Brought to you by City Mill. Coming up, a local film wins big at the Hawaii International Film Festival.
We hear from the native Hawaiian filmmaker behind the short film Hawaiian Soul after the break.
Welcome back to High Now Weekender. O Pepe Luoli Kamahina Olelo Hawaii. And that translated means February is Hawaiian language
E
month.
kala mai. Excuse me. That's right. Last week we shared a few simple Hawaiian phrases to get you started. And today we'll be sharing a few more to add to your ike or your knowledge of the language.
Yeah, I enjoy doing these. Now, here's one of these that you can throw at those kolohe keiki that are running around. And that's Aya hea ana oi. And that means, where are you going? I'm sure a lot of kids hear that, so make sure, especially if Tutu, your mom is yelling that at you, make sure you listen.
Oh my gosh, this is really fun. Here's another question that you can ask a friend or a family member. He aha oi e make ao e hana. That translates to, what would you like to do?
Yeah, that's right. Now you can respond to that question and you would say make ao e, which means I want to, and then you fill in the blank. So you could respond with make ao e he'enalu, which means I want to surf, or make ao e inu, I want to drink.
Okay.
And it's Friday, so
okay.
there you go.
Okay, so you responded to that question. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And so where are we getting all of this knowledge from, Kainoa?
Yeah, a good buddy of mine, Manu Stanton, fluent in Hawaiian language, grew up in the immersion program. He's awesome, so he helps us out with these every week. Now, another common phrase that a lot of you probably already know is mahalo, which means thanks. And you gotta know that one, especially if you're in Hawaii. You can also say mahalo ya oi, which means thank you to you, so it's a little more formal now.
Yeah, or mahalo piha. A lot
Yes.
of people will say that as well. Okay, and if you're feeling extra thankful for something, you can even say mahalo nui loa, which a lot of people say that one as well, or thank you very much.
That's right. And speaking of mahalo nui loa, we want to thank Heavenly Hakus, a big mahalo to them for providing us with these beautiful lei week after week.
Yeah, make sure you follow her on Instagram at Kauai Flower Crowns and shoot her an email to order. You know, she wrote me this beautiful note about all of the flowers that she gets from either her friends or wherever. So it's all sustainable. She's not taking them from the forest. She's growing them herself. So we just really send out a big mahalo nui loa.
Absolutely, and those look fantastic every week. Every single week, it's like opening up a goodie bag.
Yeah.
You know, to find the lid that's waiting for us. And finally, this one you already know, and that's ohuiho. Now remember, if you want to take a closer look at any of these Hawaiian sayings, you can visit our website, HiNowDaily.com. George Helm gave birth to a new consciousness of Hawaiian Renaissance. The short film Hawaiian Soul chronicles Helm's life and how he used his voice and music to bring people together.
Alo o wau o Aina Paikai o ke kioni pokole o Hawaiian so pili a George Helm ma kona naue ana I ka lahui ma ke lava kana hiku aua ho'ohana oia I kona leo nahe I ka naue ana o ka lahui. Hawaiian Soul is about the life and story of George Helm, a Hawaiian activist and musician that basically gave life to a new consciousness in what is known as the Hawaiian Renaissance in the 1970s. And so he's a man that used his music and voice to kind of activate the lahui. In the film, we kind of like briefly go into spaces of his childhood and his teenage years and his adult life, and kind of giving him purpose to his witnessing Ko'olawe bombing and his lifestyle as a musician, and how basically getting into a space where he can advocate for what he believes in, which is aloha aina. George Helm is one of our last ali'i, someone that really carried himself and was able to kind of show us as a people what it means to love our place and how to fight for it. And so in that way, wanted to honor him. A role model, I think, that used his talent and his passion to advocate for something bigger than himself. The main scene, I think, takes place in a church where there was a story, an actual story account that they went to a church in Maui, in KNI, where it was Olelo Hawaii and it was old style, and so it was them, you know, kind of the younger generation approaching this older generation asking for help, showing up late and kind of like not having the respect that they should have without knowing what they were supposed to do, kind of going into it. And so to me, with Olelo Hawaii, it was the idea of always putting Olelo Hawaii in any project that I work on, because I feel like that's important and kind of my gateway into media making. It's something that I've always wanted and inspired to share with folks through the media landscape. With this film, I thought that was an interesting dynamic between two generations, and kind of like wanting to be Hawaiian but not knowing how, and then also like being rooted in solely Hawaiian but also not really able to listen to kind of the new ways of thinking. We both won the audience award as well as the jury selected award, and we made the movie for Hawaii. To know that Hawaii International Film Festival as well as general Hawaii audiences appreciated it, that makes us feel good. For more information on our screenings, you can follow our website, which is hawaiiansoulmovie.com, and also our social media accounts on Instagram, Hawaiian Soul Movie, and Facebook.
Coming up, now you can learn Olelo Hawaii from the comfort of your own home.
Details on the new online program from Kahale Hoaka when Hainau returns.
Kahale Hoaka is an online school of Hawaiian learning centered out of the island of Molokai and taught by me, Kumu Mailena Ehu. We teach everyone from keiki, from toddlers, all the way to kupuna, centered around Ike Hawaii, or Hawaiian knowledge, and Olelo Hawaii. I've been an educator in Hawaii for the last 20 years, and I see the spark that happens when I teach people about the place that they call home, who they are, their identity, with Kanaka Oiwi blood, the genealogy or Mo'okuauhau that ties us to this very place as indigenous people of this land. We have a lot of Kanaka who are raised abroad and they want to reconnect. The people who have called Hawaii home that are not Kanaka, and they want to know more about their place. This beautiful meshing of these cultures together, and the culture that so many of our immigrants to Hawaii have adopted as their own. Olelo Hawaii is the core, the root of it all, and I think it can really teach the whole world. So I'm offering 3 different courses or paths to learning beginning Olelo Hawaii for adults, and adults meaning 16 and up. Crash course weekend, we're calling it the Pauhana weekend because it's starting on Friday after work. Learn how to greet each other, learn how to count, learn how to say how are you and respond, learn how to give simple directionals, and then we'll take it into Saturday morning and we'll have our coffee and tea together, and we'll learn even more, and we'll close up the papa. So that's my first one. The second offering is a 12-week Papa Olelo Hawaii beginning course, and it's pre-recorded, which is really nice for the person who can't commit to a certain date. Full sessions, it comes with assignment sheets, the Mahina journals, which I love. The last offering is a live tutorial weekly class with me. So it'll also be 12 weeks long, but it's live in time. So you would have to commit and have that one-on-one with the kumu and be able to ask me questions that I might not be able to address in a pre-recorded session. So we have the Kiki program, we have the Mako program, and I'm really proud of my new science, indigenous science program that we're getting into the DOE schools. A lot of homeschooling families are getting it into their homes, and it teaches indigenous science
through a Hawaiian perspective of the world. We also have a lot of free offerings. Visit kahalehoaka.com. We have a YouTube channel, Kahale Hoaka. We have an FB page, Kahale Hoaka, and an IG, Kahale Hoaka. Easy to remember. So I hope you can bring Kahale Hoaka into your home at whatever capacity that's comfortable for you.
Brought to you by Kahale Hoaka.
Aloha gang, today on High Now, we're at Chaminade University to talk about their community and public health program.
So one of the tracks for the BS-CPH, the Bachelor in Science in Community and Public Health, is the community health worker. So this would allow them to go out into the environment working in public health care, working in politics. The other track that we have is the data analytics track. This will let the students look at big data. So this informs public health from a population's perspective. Be able to relay to state, federal, even local people about what's going on with disease states around Hawaii. I think the marketability comes with the ability for the student to make a change on a bigger scale. If you're looking at Department of Health type things, all the way down to even a school level, it's a wide range of jobs that they can get into.
There's a rapid growing segment of patient care that's happening in places other than hospitals, in schools, in the community, at state, federal, and local levels. So when people think about the healthcare system in the US, a lot of times they think about healthcare settings, hospitals, clinics, kind of where your healthcare is really typically taken care of. But there's a whole other sector of it, which is community and public health, which happens actually in the communities. Careers in community and public health really focus on keeping our communities healthy, put you at the cutting edge of preventative care, health coaching, looking at things from that preventative angle, really looking at the communities so we can make a difference in the way we live, work, and play.
Well, I have a chance to sit for certification with the National Commission for Health Education as a certified health education specialist. This is going to give them a chance to have competitive advantages for positions in the community with public health.
Graduates from the Bachelor's of Science in Community and Public Health will have a large skill set, including they'll be able to do needs assessments on their community, which involve the planning, education, that contribute to health education program development. Working in public health and as a nurse, I have worked with community health workers hand in hand, and there's a lot of different varieties of things that they can do, but they're really essential to that team that's caring for the community's health.
This degree is helping them gather the data that will help inform the providers and inform the decision makers to be able to track certain populations, because we need people to track this data. We need people to interact with the community and look at things on a macro perspective, not just from the micro one. So for instance, as a nurse practitioner, I'm looking at things that are right in front of me. It's these students that will help me see the prevalence of even mental health, what's going on around our community, that would help me try to advocate for more resources. So for more information on the Bachelor in Science in Community and Public Health, just head on over to chaminade.edu.
Brought to you by Chaminade University of Honolulu.
Coming up, reducing your carbon footprint at the pump.
How Texaco's Ho'ala program helps to offset carbon emissions every time you fill up. Details after the break.
Growing up and living here in Hawaii, it's our responsibility to protect this place, and there's a number of ways we can do that. In fact, through the Ho'ala program here at Texaco with TechRun, every time you fill up your tank, you can help reduce your carbon footprint.
Our Ho'ala program is offsetting consumers' carbon emissions by up to 30% every time you fill up at any Texaco across the state. It's a simple way to lower your carbon footprint. So after a customer fills up, they don't have to do anything extra. We're doing all the work, so we're investing in certified carbon offset projects. We're also partnering with local eco nonprofits like the Malama Learning Center and their Ola Nakini program, which is focused on restoring native and edible forests here in Hawaii. To date, our Ho'ala program has offset carbon on 90 million miles, so that's the distance from here to the sun. We live in Hawaii. It's one of the most beautiful places on Earth. When we reduce our carbon footprint, we help protect our environment for future generations.
Ho'ala is the only offset emissions fuel program in Hawaii, thanks to the partnership between Island Energy and Greenprint. Ho'ala is Island Energy's commitment to improving the environment for future generations to come.
As a locally managed and operated company, Island Energy's primary focus is to safely and reliably provide high-quality products to ensure that our customers and the state of Hawaii have the fuels to support and sustain the energy needs of the islands today and into the future. Island Energy is committed to understanding and evaluating our role in helping to facilitate that transition over time. Ho'ala is the first step in that direction. Island Energy is a locally managed and operated company. We all live and work here in Hawaii. We're from Hawaii, born and raised. So it's very important to us that we support these local nonprofits and local partners. And if you're interested in becoming a partner, please reach out to us. We are looking for new partners to support through our Ho'ala program. Fill up at Texaco every time. It's as simple as that. You don't have to do anything extra. We'll take care of all the work. Next, another good tip is instead of driving around with a full trunk, lighten your load. If you have a lighter car, the less fuel you'll burn. For more information about Ho'ala, visit us at www.ho'alahigh.com. And if you'd like to learn more about Texaco and our support of the community and local programs, visit us at www.texacoandhawaii.com. You can also follow us on social media for exciting content and contests at Texaco in Hawaii on Facebook and Instagram.
Brought to you by Texaco in Hawaii.
With the COVID-19 vaccine rolling out across the state, getting our kupuna vaccinated has been a top priority for many people, and Arcadia family of companies was among the first in line to receive the vaccine for both its residents and employees.
We had our first vaccination clinic for the Arcadia family of companies at the beginning of January, and we have been able to vaccinate 76% of our staff, and I would say close to about 95% of our residents. So round one has been very, very positive. We've really just been very happy with the execution of the state's vaccination plan. First, we've partnered with not only the Department of Health and our federal partner, who's Walgreens, but also with the Healthcare Association of Hawaii. And then another huge thing that we've spent a lot of time just doing is education. As an organization, we're really fortunate to have an infection preventionist as part of our team. And so she has just been doing gangbusters of education, not only of our staff, but then also of our residents, our clients, and our members too. What we're doing is just continuing to do what we've done from the beginning, which is be transparent, communicate, be honest, follow the science, as well as the recommendations from our agencies through state as well as federal agencies. The vaccine, it's not the cure, but it is definitely a tool that we have to fight against COVID-19. And we're really just looking forward to continuing the infection prevention measures that we have in place, because until we get that herd immunity, we really aren't going to see any type of change. So for us in the immediate future, probably until about the third quarter at least, a lot of our infection prevention measures are going to stay in place. Maybe we can open up for visitation a little bit for our residents in our nursing home level, our healthcare center, because they have been the ones who've been most adversely impacted with the pandemic. My recommendation is always going to be get vaccinated. Talk to your physician, talk to your primary care physician, talk to folks who have been vaccinated. Reach out, look at the CDC website, look at the CMS website, see what's out there, and really follow the facts. Don't play into the conspiracy theories that are out there. Make sure you do your homework. You know, nursing homes were part of that 1A tier. It still means that a lot of kupuna are not vaccinated yet, and they're in the process of doing that. So us as a community, we still need to really work together in order to be strict about our infection prevention measures. Make sure you wear a mask, make sure you physically distance, make sure you do not gather in large groups, because that's where we see the spread happening. But now more than ever, just because we got the vaccine doesn't mean we're out of the woods. We still need to be very diligent as well as vigilant to make sure that we protect our kupuna and then also those around us.
Brought to you by Arcadia family of companies.
Coming up, Southeast Asian street food redefined with modern and sophisticated flavors. We're taking you inside 1938 Indochine when High Now returns. If you're into experience and amazing food, this is the place you want to check out, 1938 Indochine. It's inspired by Southeast Asian street food, but redefined with modern and sophisticated flavors.
When you come into 1938, you're going to feel like being transported in a small little street in Southeast Asia. So 1938 was kind of a defining year where the French colonized in Southeast Asia and put their influence on their architecture, their culture, and their food. The French coined that area as Indochine. So the bones here are French design, and it's layered with, Asian decadence, Vietnamese colors, Chinese colors. We really want to bring that authenticity to you here. For outside, we have over 2,000 square feet of seating, so you almost feel like you're on a street market in Southeast Asia. We also offer cigar smoking and hookah smoking. We have a very big whiskey selection, very large bourbon selection, and we also have an upstairs area where you can bring your group parties. And we have a little private bar up there that we call Room 38. If you go to Southeast Asia, the best food is found on the street because that's where all the mom and pop operators come out and show off their cuisine. The flavors are very rich. They use a lot of fresh ingredients, very healthy for you. At all my restaurants, I try to focus on using gas. It's more efficient. It brings out the rich flavors of our food. It's easier to control the heat, more economical, and it makes our food taste better than using electric. About 15 items on our kitchen menu. And then currently we have this thing called our chef tasting menu, which is a 10-course meal. And every 2 weeks, we're changing the menu out.
Okay, Kevin, this looks amazing.
So we have, before you start, you have to make your own sauce.
Okay.
You spicy?
I'm a medium girl.
This is sweet sauce.
Ooh, yeah.
Show you.
Ooh, that is spicy. It's good though, I like it.
This is our crazy fried rice, and you use the bowl. 3 different types of rice in there.
Mmm. You're right, there's like this crunch going on. That's really tasty.
And this rice is popular in Burma. The next dish is our imperial roll.
Okay.
It's kind of a sweet fish sauce.
That's delicious, and it's light crispy, but then it's also a little bit chewy. I love it.
This is our blue crab cake.
I would say that more times than not, I've tasted a bad crab cake. This is an amazing crab cake.
Thank you very much.
Well, Kevin, I can't wait to come in and try the rest of your menu because all of this was so delicious. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll have more up about 1938 Indochine on our website, HiNowDaily.com.
Brought to you by Hawaii Gas.
And can we all just celebrate that we are in Tier 3 and we can go out to eat with our family again. I don't know about you, but I always have 10 people in my family when we go to eat.
Likewise. I'm excited to get back out there and, get back to that normal life of going out and eating.
Yeah. Well, all right. So you have a special announcement, right?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, real quick before we go, I want to wish a very happy retirement to my mom. Just yesterday, she walked out of work for the last time. She's retiring after 52 years. She's been working to support me, my 2 brothers, my sister, and of course my pops. Quick note about her. She went into the workforce very young. She never graduated college. Wow. She knew how important education was, so she put all 4 of us through high school and college. I love you, Mom. Congrats. Get ready to watch all the cake eat.
Congratulations,
all the
Auntie. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, and a big mahalo to you guys for watching Hi Now. Remember, you can catch our segments again on HiNowDaily.com.
And be sure to follow us at Hi Now Daily on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube as well. Click that subscribe button. Now, next week, it's the neighborhood burger joint that is serving up smash burgers, and you can check out what makes the Daily so delicious.
It's so good. Plus, get a look at the latest spring trends at the new Cookies Clothing Company location. We'll see you guys on Monday morning. Bye now.
Aloha.